Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Pico, and today we are going to talk about all the big news that was announced by Marvel Strike Force in the blog and the Strike Time video this past Friday. And oh my gosh, there was so much information about what's coming in the game in the roadmap that they produced. So we're going to jump right into it. I wrote down all these notes of things that they talked about and just other comments that they mentioned. So I'm going to give my my feedback about everything they mentioned. So let's start with the blog first. I think the main thing of interest with the blog was that they're releasing a new character, Yellow Jacket, the main villain in the Ant-Man film. And the coolest thing about Yellow Jacket is that he's going to be forming a new team. He's going to be forming the PIM Tech team, which is going to consist of AntMan Wasp, which we already have in the game right now. He's going to be a blaster, and then there's two other characters that are coming to the game. So I guess the cool thing about them is that, you know, for me, I have Ant-Man and Wasp already powered up, and they're only like tier 9, and right now they're just kind of sitting on the bench. You know, I'm using them in Blitz as like a Blitz reset team. So it's really cool that this new character is coming out. They're going to help give them a home, and they're also going to have a vital role in Dark Dimension 4, which is coming out pretty soon. And one thing that, I mean, I'll actually talk about this more when I go into the Strike Time video, but they all look like they may be global characters, and I think they're going to play an integral role in being the global nodes of Dark Dimension 4. So he looks pretty cool. He has like a strong double basic attack. Both his special and his ultimate start on turn 1, and definitely like his kit really specifically has text that says, oh, in Dark Dimension he gets these effects, which he's the second character that has that. Symbiote SpiderMan was the first character to have Dark Dimension specific synergy in his kit, and as we saw in Dark Dimension 3, Symbiote SpiderMan was integral in beating the city nodes quite efficiently. So it's without a doubt that the developers will most likely develop the content for at least the global nodes around this new PIM Tech team. So really cool. We're gonna jump into the Strike Time video that took place with John Durr, the game director, and the community manager, Cerebro. And props to Scopely, you know, for making these Strike Time videos. Like, I respect any company that, you know, that really engages with the community in a way that we can actually see them. They've done a series of these Strike Time videos, interviews with the developers, giving us insight to what's taking place in the game right now, what's coming down the road, and they give us their reasoning for why they're coming out with new content, which is really important for maybe possible controversial new content like battle passes, but we'll get into more about that a little later in this video. So starting off, you know, the main thing they talked about was ISO 8, and they talked about how the feedback was received right now by the community and some of the things coming. So, you know, some of the main feedback right now is that these there's 5 different crystals. There's like the damage, the health, the armor, the focus, the resist, and it's not really easy to tell which crystals those are. I don't have them all memorized when I see the icons. So they did say that they're going to make color variations, which will be quite cool. It'll be a lot easier to see which ones you need and which ones you're equipping to the character. And then the second thing they talked about of coming to the game is that they're going to have saved arena defense squads. So this is going to be really helpful. I'll use myself as an example. So I have Black Order on defense and arena, and right now, like, I'm using the same setup for when I use them in offense. But if I had a method to have a saved version, I would probably put Fortifier on Proxima Midnight or Corvus Glaive, because it's really important to help keep them really strong at the beginning of the battle. But I wouldn't necessarily use that particular Fortifier setup on offense. So really looking forward to that new feature coming to ISO 8. And then a big part of this ISO 8 feature is that they're talking about what's coming in the future. So they're talking, right now we have tier 1 ISO, they're coming out with tier 2 ISO down the road, which will consist of extending the existing classes. So right now you can get up to level 5 ISO. It sounds like they're gonna like make it even further, so you can get level 6, level 7, which will probably increase more health, more other natural stats, but also add new effects. Like right now, you could, like Striker could be like maybe do a triple attack or something. So besides extending the existing classes, they're also going to come out with new classes. So right now we have like the Striker, the Raider, the Healer. They're going to come out with new classes. The only thing I'm a little hesitant about that is like we spend so much resources, so many ions to level up our existing ISO 8 classes. It takes a ton of resources to get to level 5. I've only done several for my Black Order team because I use them in Arena. But I mean, the feeling of like them releasing a new class, I'm gonna have to start all the way from level 1 if I want to level up a new class, which is fine. As a player, I'm not losing anything. I can still always use the original class I used before. It just means I'm gonna have to use a lot more resources, and most likely they're gonna make the new classes very, very enticing. But hey, I think it's good. It's gonna just help theory crafting so much more than things have already been done. So the good thing is that they're not going to release this next phase of ISO 8 editions until spring of next year. So that does give us plenty of time to use our resources, power up everything as far as we want, level 4, level 5, and we get the reassurance that our investment right now is going to last a long time until next year. So that's all the cool stuff with the ISO 8. It's been well received by the community for the most part, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I'm not going too hard on spending money or resources. I'm just kind of taking my time, and yeah. So that's ISO 8, and next we're going to get into the next topic, which is Blitz Sim. So a while ago there was some sort of, not bug, but like they preemptively released what Blitz Sim looks like in the game, and they took it down pretty quickly, but we were able to see that you could auto-complete Blitz, which is really good. It saves a lot of time. The developers did acknowledge that they consider it low quality time. It's a time sink. I mean, with the 2-hour cooldown, you're spending like at least half an hour doing a full Blitz rotation with all your team. So you really only have an hour and a half of free time to do whatever you want before you have to jump into it again if you're taking Blitz seriously. So to be able to auto complete the battle just by the press of a button is great. I'm looking forward to it. There are some reservations I have with that. I think that it's like we're not going to be able to win at the same rate that we are if we manually play Blitz, or at least like monitor it. So I have some certain thoughts. I'm actually planning to make another video to go into more detail about that. But either way, it's a positive addition, and yeah, so that's gonna be coming in the spring of, the December of this year. So not too long away. Next, we're gonna talk about real-time PvP. So right now we have the arena. We're battling the AI version of another player's arena defense setup. So real-time PvP sounds like we're gonna be able to battle someone in real time. I don't know if it's gonna replace the actual current arena we have right now. I don't think so. It's probably gonna be something in addition, which means more content to do on a daily basis. And over the past months, they've done different variations of real-time PvP. We've had draft, where each player takes turns choosing character by character, and it takes a lot of time to go through your roster, wait for your opponent to choose. So they did acknowledge that the community said that in feedback, and they're looking for ways to address that. Besides draft, there's also quick play, where you just choose a team and then you just go with it. But then during the play testing that they've done so far, it seems like people will just choose like Black Order or really overpowered teams. So those are two things that they're going to look into before they do release this real-time PvP. But it does seem like they want to take away players, like take away the time that we spend in Blitz, which is low quality time, into this more engaging content like real-time PvP. So I'm all for that, just to help keep players more engaged. And they are going to pair this with something new called the Battle Pass. So jumping into Battle Pass, all right, so if you heard of Battle Pass, you may have heard they have this in like Fortnite or other shooter games. And I don't currently play a game that utilizes Battle Passes, but it's essentially you pay a fee, let's say at least $20, and then you have this pass that lasts like a ticket. like a Willy Wonka's golden ticket that lasts for, let's say, a month-ish time frame, and then there's all these challenges that you do on a daily or long-term basis, and you complete these challenges and you get rewards. And then it climbs up, so ideally you want to like be active and complete all these challenges to get the max rewards, because you're paying for this battle pass, you might as well make use of it. So that's coming to this game. So I'll give my thoughts, but let me just run through the details they talked about it. So it's going to be a new reward system with challenges. So right now we have challenges, which are 2 challenges on a daily basis where we use our characters to get training materials and red star orbs. But this is gonna be something different. This is gonna be on top of that. And then with the challenges, they're gonna be or they actually call it missions. They're gonna be things like do damage with your Sinister Six. They said do damage with bio characters. They said you would win a couple matches, knock out X enemy characters. So these are very obtainable things, which are nice. And what I really like about the challenges or the missions that they told us about, it's less about the wins and losses, and it's more about completing those challenges, which was a frustrating experience when I was doing the real-time PvP that they released so far, because like you would spend time battling someone and spending time drafting, but in the end you would have lost. So it's not that nice of experience. So by tying it to challenges, if I'm just trying to like do damage or knock out a certain amount of characters, the feeling of making progress, completing those challenges, even though you're losing the battle, is a good feeling. So I like that they got that right. And they also mentioned a couple of good things about this. Mission challenges. It encourages diverse characters that we use and that we face. So now, if you have to, do damage with Sinister Six, you're going to bring that in, and on the flip side, you're going to come across people who have those kind of teams. So it is going to make real-time PvP feel more diverse, and it's not just going to be black ore thrown at your face. And as far as the frequency, they did mention it's going to be on a daily basis and also on a weekly basis. So right now we've had like some milestones in the game where we're supposed to do like Blitz battles and some raid battles, and so it's essentially like a daily milestone event. And yeah, and from what I understand about battle passes is that you get these points to climb in this ladder of rewards. And of course, if you're very active, you can you'll get plenty of the max points like pretty quickly. But then if you're slacking behind, that's the issue. You might not get the max tier rewards with your battle pass. So they didn't mention it in this strike time video, but another one of Scopely's games that they produce, Walking Dead, they did mention that they sell battle pass points in their store. So if you do fall behind and you're not going to reach the max milestone, then you might be inclined to purchase an offer to get more points. Not saying that's going to happen in Marvel Strike Force, but I can see it being possible. So yeah, it's just another way that they can monetize in the game and with the battle pass. So that's fine, just more opportunities for them. So we'll see how it goes. I'm perfectly fine with it, just because I acknowledge that a company does need to find ways to make revenue as the game evolves. They need to evolve their growth with it, because right now it's before red stars were such a big part of generating revenue. I know when red stars first came out, I bought lots of offers. I really wanted my characters to get high red stars, and now it's kind of like stagnant. Like players mostly have 3 to 4 red stars if you're an endgame player. We don't really need gear, don't need gold. Training materials are still kind of slacking, but they did increase the challenges of training materials, so that helps. So ISO 8 is I'd say the main source of revenue right now. It's like the new toy, and a lot of the endgame big spenders do want to buy these ISO 8 offers and get their characters really strong for war, arena, what have you. And so yeah, they just need to find another way to have very constant revenue. It's essentially like battle passes are like a hidden way of thinking of monthly subscription if this was a game, but it doesn't feel as greedy or anything, because it's like you're creating it. It's like an event, So it is a nice way to think about that. It's just a new way of getting content in the game. The company gets more money, and yeah. So I think I'll probably buy the first battle pass and just see what the experience is like, and we'll see how it goes. One thing that Scopely does need to be careful though, it's just like it's a new source of revenue, right? So, you know, they don't want to make battle passes so good that, let's say it's $20. You know, they don't want to make it so good that, oh, if I'm a player, I'll buy the battle pass, and I might not, and then by doing that, I might not, I don't need to buy all the other offers for the character shards and the gold that they release. So it just needs to be something, you know, I'd say existing in the game and just different. And actually more thoughts about it. For the other battle passes, you know, in Fortnite or other shooter games, a lot of the rewards seem to be focused around cosmetics, and in Marvel Strike Force, we don't have cosmetics. When I took a look at the Walking Dead game by Scopely, it does seem like they give you things like character shards and just basically content that we have right now in the game. So I could see it being like orange ability materials, red star orbs, promotion credits, just things to push people further. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have a problem with it. I know some people claim they're gonna quit, you know, on Reddit, but I think we'll just give them a chance, you know, see how it is, and it might not be that bad. All right, moving on. We're talking about Gear Tier 15. So it's definitely coming. They confirmed it. Gear Tier 15 is going to be the requirement for Dark Dimension 4, and they talked about kind of a blast from the past. They talked about how, you know, Dark Dimension 2, you know, if we remember, the enemies had lots of health and it took a long time. So, you know, like Dark Dimension 2, from what I remember, it could take you like at least half an hour to beat a stage if you could, you know, solo it and all the way through. But then what happens if your internet, you know, crashes, and it kind of sucks. You know, it's not a good experience. I think it's fine though, because like it kind of reminds me of like when I played like Heroes Charge. It's one of the first active hero collector I played. You know, you would basically just, you know, fight these really hard nodes and, you know, chip away at damage. So yeah, so that was their learning. They want to kind of shorten how long it takes. So when I came to Dark Dimension 3, then they kind of shorten how long it is. Like maybe the enemies didn't have as much health, but man, they did so much damage. So essentially, it was kind of like starting the node, hitting a brick wall. You know, next day, same thing over and over. It might take you like 20 attempts to beat a node. So they're looking to see how they could change that for the next Dark Dimension 4. Dark Dimension 3, you know, it consisted of global cosmic city characters to attack those specific nodes. And, you know, they acknowledge, which I agree, that cosmic and city had the best balance. And that's true. It felt like, it was weird though, because like the first 8 nodes of like everyone, you use everyone the first 4 nodes. And then for global, or the next 4 nodes, that's when you could use Phoenix. Like that was really hard. And then city, or cosmic and city, and that was much easier, but because you didn't have Phoenix. And they did acknowledge that the reason why the first 8 nodes were such a challenge is because players had Phoenix, and Phoenix, you know, steals so much health, so they had to really make the content really challenging because people were going to use Phoenix. So I think they're going to probably, my guess, tune Dark Dimension 4 to be more similar to what the city and the cosmic nodes were like, but of course make it really challenging so players don't complete it really quickly. So we'll see how that goes. And as far as the traits go, so Cerebro asked, and they may have not given us all the details, but from what I gathered, the director did say how they're introducing a new trait, Legendary, and that's kind of like, there were 2 parts to that, if I was reading it correctly what he said. So first off, there's going to be nodes like cosmic nodes and city nodes and global nodes where you cannot use legendary characters. So it's really you're merely gonna have to depend on characters, yeah, that aren't maybe so strong, like Phoenix or I wouldn't say Iron Man, but yeah, or maybe Dr. Octopus, like not him. And then on the flip side, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, there's actually gonna be legendary nodes where you can only use legendary characters. So that's cool. 2 thoughts about that, if that's true. Like, from one standpoint, it's good for the company because it helps force players, maybe not endgame players who have all the characters, but it forces more newer to mid-game players to focus on unlocking all the legendary characters, so they have to invest in all the prerequisite requirements. So it's just gonna make people make sure they invest in the full roster in order to be able to eventually beat Dark Dimension 4. And then the second thought about this is that you know, right now there's 10 legendary characters, so there are a decent amount, you know, but you have to been playing this game for a long time to be able to have them all and have them strong enough. So we'll see how it goes. I'm open to the idea of that, and that's why it's actually important that the new PIM Tech team are global. So it's likely that they're gonna tune Dark Dimension 4 around the new PIM Tech team if you want to beat it probably efficiently. If you don't use the PIM Tech team for the global nodes, you're probably gonna go at it at a small, slower snail pace. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad that they announced that's coming soon. I'm holding off on using all my tier 14 materials, all my orange gear, because I really want to funnel all that gear into the characters that we know we'll be able to use for Dark Dimension 4. So besides that, they talked about raid difficulty selector, and this is going to be for the Greek raids. So right now, we have the difficulty selector for Ultima 7, and it's been a success, you know. There's been 5 difficulties of Ultima 7, and our current alliance, Wakanda Line, we're doing difficulty 4, and doing pretty well. My team is pretty strong. I'm using a hybrid team, and I actually recently built up my symbiote team, who are also really good. So I'm able to get to the end boss node Ultimus with my 2 teammates, and we're doing pretty good. The rest of Alliance may not be able to get to that same point, so we're probably gonna stick around difficulty 4 for now. But hopefully we can get to difficulty 5 pretty soon, just to be able to say we can do the max challenging content possible. But so this is gonna be implemented in alpha, beta, and gamma raids. And the main difference between this new difficulty selector and these new series of Greek raids is that they've removed the ability to heal our characters. And this is, and Cerebral clarified this. At first I'm like, what? You can't heal your characters, but it's not healing within the battle. So healers can still heal, Minerva can still heal. It's healing between battles. So those raid heal currencies, we will not be able to use those with Greek raids. And they were saying how the idea behind that is that they want us to pay attention to the attacks we do, and yeah, and just be more careful. If a character dies, they want us to swap in another character and just use that to get to the rest of the raid. So when I heard that, it kind of sucks, because like with the Greek raids right now, I beat them all on full auto. Like it's one content I like because I don't have to spend time pressing all the buttons and controlling much. Like each node takes me less than a minute to beat. So so it just cuts down on like the low quality time. But now it sounds like they really want us to be engaged in completing this content. So, you know, if we can use rate heals between battles, it sounds like they're really going to make it hard for us to use the same team to beat all the nodes, which means that like at the highest difficulty on the slider, we are not going to be able to probably auto or full auto to complete the nodes. And so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's fine. We'll just probably start slower, maybe like the second or third to lowest, but we'll see how hard it is. But yeah, so like I was hoping that they wouldn't do that, because you know, with real-time PvP and other content, it does look like if we want to get the best rewards possible, we will have to do some manual gameplay. So we'll see how that goes and what the rewards are. So the last bit of information they talked about, which, you know, it's you know, nothing too crazy, is squad management. So they did, you know, people have been asking for feedback. We want more squads, we want other stuff to help us maneuver to our characters. So they've already released character traits in the game. So that's like, to me, like really cool, because now I can quickly just see all my symbiotes and all my defenders and all my avengers really quickly. So to me, that was fine. But it looks like they heard other feedback from the community, and they're going to be releasing, by the end of the year, they're going to give the ability to manage save squads from a roster. So, you know, they gave the example, we can go to a roster and you can tap on a character, you can go to the save squad and like level them from there. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work. I personally like how things are they are now, but I'm all for like companies doing more quality of life improvements just to make things a little bit better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those were all the main talking points of the Strike Time video. So much content coming. 2020 has been crazy for the game, and they really kind of gave us a nice roadmap for what's coming in 2021. I'm really excited. For me, I'm most excited for Dark Dimension 4, just because like I want to know where to put my resources into my characters for that content. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments of everything we talked about and that you saw from the Strike Time video. What are you most looking forward to? What are you most hyped about? And if there's any other thoughts, you know, about Battle Pass or whatnot that you want to share, maybe you played a game with Battle Pass and, you know, you've seen different things about the way those companies do it. Give me your thoughts on that too. I'd love to see what you have to say. So that's it for now, guys. You know, feel free to share anything else you want to. Subscribe to my channel. It'll help me a lot. I appreciate it. And we'll be looking to see what else the developers have in store for us. So thank you so much for watching. This is PioPico signing out. I'll see you later.